Pleased to be joined by Kansas players. To my far left, Mitch, and to my immediate is Svi Mikhailuk. At this time, we'll take questions. Please raise your hand, and we'll get right to you. First contestant here on the aisle.
Hey guys, when you look at Seton Hall on film, what players jump out at you as priorities for you guys to defend?
We'll start with Mitch first.
For the big guys, I think Delgado and their other four men, they're very active and they're good on the block. So we got to figure out a game plan for them.
Sweep.
Yeah, like me said, Delgado and all their guards are really good players. I think all of them average like from 14 to 18 points a game, and everybody can shoot. And I would say it's going to be hard to guard them.
On the aisle here, left side.
David Lawrence, Jayhawk Radio. Svi and Mitch, this team's very physical. These teams have caused us problems from time to time throughout the year. Can you just talk about being ready to take on a physical team that gets on the offensive glass?
Mitch?
I think it just starts on defense. You got to lock in on defense, understand scouting report. The coaches give us a great plan on how to defend them and how to guard them. Just got to come out there and be confident. It's kind of like a West Virginia team where they're really physical. They get after you on defense, so you got to be under control and know what to do and when to do it.
Sweep.
Yeah, definitely got to be ready on the defensive end, especially on the boards. So we got to just come prepared for a game, be tough, and just show what we can do.
Other questions out there? Back row on the right, then we'll go over to the left side. Yeah.
For both of you guys, Seton Hall talked about how they've seen a lot of you guys on TV. Some of them have even said they sort of had a scouting report on you guys before they got here. Just curious how much you knew about Seton Hall before you got here, and if you had seen them at all on television.
Start with Mitch first.
Yeah, I've seen them before. They played Tech, and I've seen that game, and then they played Villanova. They played both of those games really well, beat Tech, and we're watching a lot of film with the coaches right now and becoming even more familiar with them, so that's a priority of ours.
Yeah, like me said, they beat Tech early in the year, and I think they lost to Villanova in overtime. So we were watching the games, and especially the game they played yesterday. So, they're a really good team, and, during the year, we watch some games on TV, and it's not like we don't really know who they are. Like, we know, but...
On the left side.
Jackson Schneider, KJHK. Mitch, yesterday in the second half, you really seemed to go after it on the glass. Can you just talk a little bit about what was going through your mind and maybe what led to that?
I think we needed that presence. The first half, I didn't do it as well as I wanted to. So I got out there, realized every ball that comes off the rim is an opportunity for me to get it. So try to get as many as I could and help us win.
We'll stay on the left side.
Mitch, on the same theme, can we pull back just a little bit and look at a little bit of a larger picture? And would you tell us about what you faced this season, perhaps unexpected responsibilities and time with roster situations, then late with an injury? What have you dealt with, and what's your self-assessment about how you've done it?
I think it's been a blessing in disguise for me, opportunity for me to come into a bigger role and play a bigger part of this team. Helping out replace Doak. Obviously being only 1 or 2 bigs there for a little bit until we got Silvio, so it was a big opportunity, and I think I've done a pretty good job of embracing it.
We have a question on the right side.
Greg Eklund for Kansas Public Radio, and this is for Mitch. Without the obvious physical presence of Doak, and for all but 3 minutes yesterday, you've played 4 games now without him. How much is KU a different team without him?
Obviously, he's a huge part of our team. It's a different look when he's not out there. He's a low post presence. He's a beast. So having him in there more is obviously a priority of ours. I know he's working super hard to get back as fast as he can, and but when he's not out there, we try to set more ball screens and get our guards going downhill, and then me and Silvio try to clean up the glass and get easy points here and there.
We're going to go to the left side here, and then we'll come back to the right aisle here.
Svi, can I ask to follow up on the question that I asked Mitch about his assessment? What's his teammates' assessment? Would you guys be in this position if he hadn't stepped up like he did when you guys needed him to?
He did great, especially in the Big 12 tournament. Him and Sylvia, they both they came up really big. They helped us win games, and like you say, it's a kind of different look without Doak. But you know, we just had to adjust. And right now, I think we're playing pretty good. Like all the guards are aggressive, and I think it's pretty hard to guard if you know all the guards are aggressive, and we just moving the ball pretty fast, getting open shots.
Go to the aisle here on the right back row.
Zach Braziller, New York Post. What do you think about Seton Hall makes them dangerous, and what makes them a threat to you guys tomorrow?
We're going to switch it up. Start with Sweep first, then Mitch.
Okay.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, I did hear you.
What do you think it is about Seton Hall that makes them dangerous and makes them a threat tomorrow?
I would say they're shooting the ball pretty good, and like I said, all the starting five averaging like from 13 to 18 points. So they definitely everybody can score, and everybody can shoot, all the guards. So I would say they're like kind of like us, like all the guards can shoot, all the guards are aggressive, and you know it's going to be a pretty fun matchup for us.
Mitch, same question.
Like Svi said, they have great guard play, and they also have great big guys. So it's a combination. We got to really lock in and understand the scouting report because they're a great team.
Still have about 5 minutes left to go to the left side on the aisle.
Svi, you and Devontae have been pretty consistent hitting the three-point shot, but recently LeGerald and Malik have really come along. Can you just talk about, you know, potentially how good that can make you and what it's like when you have those other guys joining in with you and Devontae knocking them down?
I would say just making the game easier because if everybody can shoot on the floor, we just need to beat our man and just trying to find the open man, because when you beat your man, you just pass into an open guy, then they got to help. So we just got to move the ball to the open man. And, you know, if everybody shoot like everybody shoot right now, it's going to be really hard to guard because you got to help, and it's going to be open shot no matter what.
Other questions out there? Go on the right side by the aisle.
With their offensive rebounding, how much of a focus is that for you guys, and do they remind you of any other team you've faced in that regard?
Start with Sweep.
I think Mitch was saying earlier they remind us of West Virginia, and they really rebound the ball really good. They have a big guy. I think like he averaged like 13 rebounds. So you know, we just gotta show how tough we are, and you know, box out every time. Like the guards gotta help Mitch and Sylvia, and just to box out, because I don't think everybody going to glass like little point guards. So they just gotta come inside and just help him to rebound.
Mitch?
Yeah, West Virginia. They do a great job getting to the glass, and that's a focus of ours. Everyone's got to box out. We're just got to find a guy to get to box out, and I think if we do that, we can do pretty good on the boards.
Other questions? Okay, go back to the aisle here.
Mitch, you and Doak and Silvio seem to really cheer for one another, which isn't that uncommon, but you seem to have a genuine, you know, supporting cast with each other. Can you just talk about that?
I think with us three, it's not who does good, but if we do good as big guys, I think we each want to see each other do well. When you see Silvio do so good against West Virginia in the tournament game, me and Doak are sitting there cheering him on, and then I played pretty good last night, and then they're just sitting there cheering me on, and I think we all really care about each other and want to see each other do well. So if the big guys are doing good, the Jayhawks are winning, and then we're all happy.
Any other questions? Okay, guys, we'll let you go. Thanks. Best of luck tomorrow. Again, the Kansas locker room still open. We'll have Coach Self up here shortly. At 2:20, we're scheduled to have Seton Hall student athletes, followed by the Seton Hall head coach. At 3:10, we will have Houston student athletes and head coach, and we will conclude today with Michigan starting at 3:55. Again, tip-off for the first game tomorrow, 6:10 local time. Michigan game will follow 30 minutes after the conclusion of the Kansas-Seton Hall game. Okay, we're happy to be joined by Kansas head coach Bill Self. At this time, Coach, let's get your assessment on tomorrow's opponent, Seton Hall.
Well, they're good, and certainly we saw that yesterday against NC State, and they can score the ball. They got four guys, I guess, averaging between 13 and 18, and you know, have probably the best rebounder in the country. In addition, so they're really good. They're very well coached, and you know, come from a terrific league in which they played the best multiple times this year. So we know they'll be very prepared.
At this time, we'll have questions. Please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone holder right to you.
Thanks for coming, guys.
That's all they waited for, Coach.
Bill, last night, I'm sure they have been all year, but they're very physical, great offensive rebounding team, which at times this year has caused us problems. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, that's obviously going to be one of the keys to us having some success is being able to neutralize them on the glass because they are a terrific rebounding team on both ends. But you know, we haven't been a great defensive rebounding team for the most part, the vast majority of the year. So that'll be a big key in trying to neutralize them because on paper that would obviously be a strength for them.
So raised arm in the background, back row there. Somebody have a question? Yeah. Okay. in the back on the right side. Go ahead.
Bill, could we have our daily Doak update?
The daily Doak update, he practiced today. We went for an hour, and he was out there the majority of the minutes and actually looked pretty good. You know, timing may be off a little bit in conditioning, but we certainly, unless there's some form of setback, we certainly anticipate him being available tomorrow in a way that you can actually play him to try to win the game. You know, it may not be 25 or 30, but we should get some competitive minutes out of him that hopefully will definitely help our team.
Stay on the right side on the aisle here, Coach. There you go.
You mentioned Delgado. He has 21 double-doubles on the season. What threat does he pose to your team?
Well, I mean, it's, you know, he could put, you know, another reason why Doak's important is because, you know, he could put the, you know, entire team in foul trouble. You know, you go from 10 to 15 fouls if we're able to play our full complement of guys. But you know, he can shoot. He's a terrific passer. He's a great one of the best passing bigs we've gone against all year, and you know, he's a workhorse. I mean, he never quits trying to wedge or get, you know, position for rebounds, and he certainly you know, he's a professional rebounder. He knows how to read a ball coming off a rim. He knows how to wedge. He knows how to create space, and you know, there's few, if any, that do it any better than him. So, you know, he'd pose a problem for anybody.
Okay, go on the right side of the aisle here, and then we'll go in the back. Yeah, thank you.
Malik in the locker room compared Seton Hall to West Virginia. Is that a comparable team matchup for you guys?
Probably of the teams that we played, yeah, maybe from a physicality standpoint. You know, you look at Delgado. Could he be comparable to Kanate, even though they're different skill sets and everything? But you know, inside presence and their guards are very physical, much like Carter and Miles. So I'd say that's fair. The way they go about doing their business is different, but I think from a physical standpoint, they certainly kind of look that role.
You stay on the left on the plaid in the aisle there, sir. Oh, change mine? Okay. Well, we go to Greg.
Greg Eckford, Kansas Public Radio. In looking at the path that it took to get here, in a way, do you feel that there's something in common between KU and Seton Hall because of the leagues that you play in and the schedules that you play in a 10-team league?
You know, I hadn't thought about that, but I bet you could ask Kevin. He'd tell them that their league is. I mean, think about that. They played. I don't know about the tournament. Did they play 5 games or 4 games against four games against number 1 seeds? I mean, that's more than we've done. And our league was a gauntlet, and their league's obviously a gauntlet. And how many Big East teams got in? 6 out of 10, and we got 7 out of 10. So yeah, I would say it's very comparable. You know, I look at them and you know, compare them to teams that we played. And if you look at them in our league, they would fare very well in our league, without question. You know, and you know, the way that we won the league this year, there were so many close games that came down to 1 or 2 possessions. I mean, Seton Hall would be a team that could easily compete for our championship in our league.
Right side, there we go. And then we'll go right next to you afterwards.
Mitch had a pretty good game yesterday, but coming up against Delgado, just how do you see him being able to affect the game compared to Delgado's size?
You talking, who'd you say?
Mitch.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's not going to based on size. I mean, he's going to have to play smart, playing before he catches it. You know, Mitch is a really good athlete, and he's a quick twitch athlete, and he's going to have to be really bouncy and energetic and you know, play very smart. And you know, just do what Mitch doesn't have to. The way that the best chance for us to win is not for Mitch to have more points and rebounds than Delgado. That won't be our game plan. That's not how we play. But if he can just not allow him to have a big day or a big night in the time that he's in there, that would be a huge bonus for us.
Okay, stay in the same row right there on the aisle.
Zach Brazil in your post, Bill. I'm sorry if you got asked this already. What's the status of Udoka, and what kind of, you know, he played 3 minutes yesterday in the first half. What can you expect out of him tomorrow?
He practiced today, and he went probably 80-90% of the time today in our 1-hour practice. So unless there's some setback, we're anticipate using him and having him be part of the game plan, and you know, whether or not he can play more than 3 minutes at a time from a conditioning standpoint. We think that, barring any unforeseen things happening, that he could be a guy that could be out there 15 or 20 minutes tomorrow.
Left side in the corner there. Go ahead.
Coach, back to Mitch real quick. Could you just comment on what he's meant for you and this team over the course of the season with a lot of fluctuation at the big spot and his steady work there, his attitude?
Well, his attitude is a 10, and he works his tail off. And but the thing about it is that Mitch is a type of guy that all good teams have that give them a chance to win, because he hasn't played his natural position one possession this year. He's not a 5-man. He's a prototypical 4-man. That's what we recruit him as. And here we are asking a guy that weighs 210 pounds to be our anchor, especially when Doak's out and that kind of stuff. So he's handled everything great, considering that he hasn't probably been utilized in a manner that would benefit him the most.
Other questions? Going on the right side on the aisle.
Just talking to the players, several of them referenced West Virginia in regards to Seton Hall. Is that a comparison you would make? I just, in the context of it, we were asking about Seton Hall has good size across the board. They're a physical team, so how would you assess them?
I think that's a pretty fair assessment. I don't think their styles are exactly the same, obviously, but you talk about physical guards, they both have it. You talk about an anchor 5-man that's physical, they both have that. So I think there are some similarities with that. I really believe that Seton Hall guards, when you look at it, they're, even though West Virginia shot the ball unbelievably great in the tournament and terrific against us, their guards did. But I mean, these guys, you'll have 3 out there at all times that can stretch it at any point in time, which makes them pretty skilled.
Left side.
Bill, your senior guards have been consistent throughout most of the year, and now Lagerald and Malik seem to be on an uptick. Can you just talk about how that makes it different for teams to stop you having 4 guards that are playing like that?
Early in the season, we were better offensively than we were the vast majority of it. I mean, the ball was moving, and we had 4 guys shooting above 40% from 3, probably up until Christmas or close to it. So we've seen we're much harder to guard when it's equal opportunity, and I felt like during league play we had a couple individuals not play quite as well, so Devontae took more shots, more low percentage shots, into clock plays and things like that probably gave us the best chance to win, but wasn't good for visibly for the eye as far as are we playing as well as we possibly can. And Doak's gotten better, so I do agree with you. We got 4 guys that can stretch it, and when Doak's healthy, you got a big guy you can play around and certainly isolate him on the post, which makes us a hard guard. Here of late, the guards really have had to play well because we haven't had a big guy we can throw it to and isolate in the post. Even when Silvio got 16 against West Virginia, they were off angles, they were off tip-ins, they were off plays that others made, and so certainly our guards have had to step up during that time.
Okay, now we go to the aisle here.
Coach Jack Nadeau, KJHK. For last night's performance, at least we saw a little less of Malik than we did in the Big 12 tournament. What would you like to see him do more to kind of get back to those performances?
Yeah, we saw what he do, go for 2 from 3. And so, Penn does a good job. We only took 17 threes, and I know at halftime, I think Evan asked me about all the threes that we were taking and the poor shots. They were. But we didn't take that many of them. We just didn't get very many good looks. And so I bet Malik only got 1 good look yesterday. So I believe that he didn't, he also played out of foul trouble, only played 28 minutes, still got double figures. So, yeah, I mean, we can't expect him to get 20 every night, but I thought he was pretty effective. I don't think anything happened yesterday to certainly take away any confidence or anything like that.
Front row on the aisle.
Sorry if this was asked. I just came in. Aside from Delgado, when you look at the film, what other players of Seton Hall jump out at you as difference makers?
Well, they're all their starters are really good, but when you got Carrington and Rodriguez and Powell that can all stretch it like they can, and they can score in other ways. Rodriguez can be a power player in post. We haven't gone against very many guards that can do that, and Carrington is so fast. He can get the ball downhill really well, and Powell to me is like instant offense. He can make 4 and 5 minute stretch and totally change the whole complexion of the game. So I really like their personnel and their experience, and they've been there and they've done it and they've been through a lot together. They seem to be very tough and connected. So their perimeter is very good, and then of course they're playing around, arguably as good a rebounder and one of the best low post players in the country.
Any other questions here? Okay, we'll go back to the right side, and then we'll get you second, Greg.
Mitch obviously played quite a few minutes in the game, and Silvio didn't play as much. Is this a type of matchup that maybe doesn't fit Mitch as much with the physicality they have?
I don't know, Danny. You could say that. You could say on the surface, like West Virginia, I thought Silvio was definitely a better matchup with Konate. So you could say that on the surface, but Seton Hall will also sub a pick and pop guy, and so there's going to be opportunities for them both to be out there. I really just felt like that Mitch was better yesterday and gave us the best chance than Silvio did the vast majority of the minutes. But it wasn't that Silvio did anything wrong. I just thought Mitch played a little better, just like I thought Silvio played better in the Big 12 tournament.
Obviously, you've been, because of circumstances, caught in a numbers game with your bench. As you get deeper in the tournament, how much is the bench a concern?
It's not. If we're healthy, it's not. There's a lot of people who like to go 8 deep, and with the emergence of Silvio, I feel like we can. And so, even though the one thing with our bench that we haven't been able to do, we haven't been able to play different ways. We haven't been able to play small and big. Because we haven't had time to practice and all these things. So we are who we are. We're not going to change from this point forward. But I do think the emergence of Marcus and certainly the emergence of Silvio with a healthy Doak, I think there's a lot of teams out there like to have a rotation of 8. And I think that's plenty this time of year as long as injuries or foul problems don't creep up.
Okay, staying on the right in the back row. There you go.
Coach, last night you became the winningest coach in Kansas history in the tournament, tying Roy Williams. Just wanted to ask if you could comment on that accomplishment, what it means for you.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I did not even remotely know that. So I don't really look. You coach at a place as long as I have, 15 years, and I think Roy was here 15 years too, and you have as many good players as what we've had and as many good teams. You should win some games, and so I don't look at that as a monumental thing at all. I hope by 8:30 tomorrow night we would have passed him, but to me that doesn't even register on the care meter at all.
Any final questions for the coach? Thank you very much,
Okay.
Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Seton Hall student athletes scheduled to join us approximately 2:20. So I got the next 2 teams. You gotten those okay? We'll be starting our second news conference of the afternoon shortly with student athletes from Seton Hall. Again, the satellite coordinates are Galaxy 17, transponder 17B. The download frequency is 12035.5 horizontal. Again, please silence your phones and no recording with your tablet or iPhone. If everybody's situated at this time, we'll take questions for our student athletes. Please raise your hand. We'll have a microphone holder get to you. And if they ask a general question, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Kadeem and work our way down. So go ahead on the aisle here.
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Guys, you're coming off this win you've probably been waiting so long for. How do you now refocus and play one of the best teams in the country?
Start with Kadeem, work our way down.
Yeah, I think we got a good one yesterday, but we got over it, and we just focus on playing a good game tomorrow and focus on getting a W.
Yeah, I agree with Kadeem. Just gotta watch film, study their plays and what the team does, and just be mentally prepared for the crowd and everything.
Yeah, Ish said it best. Just be mentally prepared about going into tomorrow's game. We're going up against a great team, and we match up well with them. But obviously, that's a great team. We're looking forward to just getting a great W.
Yeah, like the guys say, I think we match with them really good. So it's going to be a good game, and we just got to play hard because it's one of the best teams in the country right now.
Okay, we're staying in the second row on the right. Go ahead.
Hey guys, Jerry Carino, Gannett, New Jersey. For all four of you, what do you like most about Kevin as a coach, and how has he grown over time in that role?
Start with Kadeem.
I think he's a player's coach. Like he kind of asks us, like what we like, opposed to just making us do something. He kind of get everybody input. So I think that's the best thing about him.
I love Coach's fire and passion for the game. He makes sure he instills that into us, and it carries over onto the court.
Yeah, Coach is a person that you can always go to and talk to, and he'll understand anything you'll say to him, and he'll make adjustments. And just having a person like that is great to play for. Excited that I'm playing for Coach. For this 4 years, we came together, and we didn't break apart, and we've been together for 4 years, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, like the guys said, this coach is one of the probably. It's like my father. He always been there for me and for all these guys, and we cannot be thankful. I will not change him for anything, any coach in the country.
Stay in the aisle there. Go ahead.
Guys, when you came aboard 4 years ago, Coach's job was kind of tenuous. He hadn't kind of started winning yet. Has he ever talked to you guys about maybe in a way you almost saved his career at Seton Hall?
Nah, we never had that conversation. I think we did a great job, but I also think Coach did a great job too, sticking with us and just believing in us. And it's a team thing. It's not just one person thing.
Coach put us in this position to be successful, so he saved his own job by putting us in the position to be, successful. Without him, we wouldn't be as good as we are now. So,
Yeah, definitely. We just stuck by his side. He stuck by our side. He told us to trust him after freshman year, and sophomore year we've been successful since. So, a person like that is always good to take in and listen to. He knows a lot about the game, and when he told us to trust him, we did that, and we've been happy since.
I think we got to appreciate Coach everything he did for us, except what we did for him, because none of us was expecting to be this type of player our senior year, so we just got to be thankful for him and said that he'd be thankful of us.
Stay in the second row there.
This question's for Angel. I just asked 6 Kansas players what their thoughts were on Seton Hall, and they all started their answer with Angel Delgado. When you hear that, what do you expect from them tomorrow?
They're going to come really aggressive because I'm an aggressive player, but I just love how I don't like playing with guys that is soft. This team got a lot of big guys, a lot of guys they can play really good. They got great players, so I'm just really happy to play with a team like that and great players like that, great coach.
Other questions for our student athletes? Okay, we're going to go in the front, and then we'll get back to you in the second row. Front right side, guys.
Tom Keegan, Lawrence Journal World. Kadeen, a lot of great basketball players come from Brooklyn. Is there any common thread with basketball players from Brooklyn? And also, did you play more indoors or on the playgrounds growing up in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I think it's a common thread. I think most guards from Brooklyn is real tough. You know, we grew up playing outside. Yeah, I definitely played more outside than inside growing up, you know, playing in the parks and things like that. So, yeah, more outside than inside.
We're going to stay in the second row on the aisle here, then we'll come right to you, sir.
You guys are 4.5-point underdogs. A lot of people expect Kansas to win. They're at home. They're going to have probably about 95% of the crowd. Tell me why you guys are going to advance and why you can pull this upset.
Kadeem?
Just staying focused. You know, we know we're playing against them. We're playing against their fans. But I think if we block them out and just focus on our game plan, that we can do something special.
Ish.
Can't get caught up in the numbers. I'm pretty sure a lot of people had North Carolina State winning too. We just have to focus on the game plan and, you know, execute.
Desi?
Yeah, we play in the Big East Conference, so, you know, we just approaching this game as any other. You know, we play against great teams all year, so I think we prepare for that type of crowd and the atmosphere. But we're excited, and our mindset got to be to go in and win. Just not to, you know, we playing a great team, but if we go in with our focus and play our basketball, Seton Hall basketball, I think we'll be in great shape to win.
Like Desi said, we play in the Big East. When you play in the Big East, you always expect big things when you go to somebody else's court. So I'm thinking we're kind of used to that. We've been playing for all 4 years and great teams, so I think we're ready for the battle.
Okay, we're going across the aisle, and then we'll get you in the front row next.
For all of you guys, rebounding isn't one of KU's strengths, and obviously it is one of yours, not just rebounding, but you're all big and physical. Can you just talk about using your big build, physical play to be able to gain an advantage off the glass?
Start with Kadeem first.
Well, we got the best rebound in college basketball, but everybody knows that, so a lot of guys try to throw a lot of players at them, and that forces us to rebound. And I think when the guards rebound, we could push and get easy buckets, so I think that would be a big thing tomorrow.
Yeah, Angel gets a lot of attention because obviously he's the best rebounder in college basketball, so that actually makes it easier for us to come in and rebound. So, because teams are sending like 3-4 guys at him and leave us open, so, you know, we just pick up the scraps.
Yeah, I know Coach, you know, been screaming at me a lot all season just to help Angel rebound the ball, but, you know, when you got him on your team, rebound the ball, you don't want to go in there and rebound, just let him get it all. So, you know, I've been Coach. I know Coach's gonna dwell on me getting in and helping him, and he said when I rebound, you know, when we get out and push, you know, we find open shots for like Kadeen and Miles like that. So, you know, that's my focus. Gonna help Angel rebound today tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good going against these guys, but when these guys rebound like we did yesterday, we played good. Kadeen got a lot of rebounds. Desi each got 10 rebounds. He was great because they were sending 2 guys to box me out. So every time these guys rebounds, we play great. So if everybody in the team rebound, I think we got a great chance to win the game.
Ryan Haney, Jayhawk Network. Guys, you touched on how battle-tested you are playing in the Big East, 4 games against 1 seeds already. How does this challenge with Kansas compare to taking on a Xavier or a Villanova? And then for each of you, what concerns you the most about Kansas?
Yeah, we played Xavier twice. We played Nova twice. Those are 2 great teams. Repeat the question again? I forgot, bro.
It was a long question, wasn't it? How does the challenge compare to taking on other 1 seeds? And specific to Kansas, what concerns you?
I think with Kansas, you just got to limit Graham. and that's on me because I'm starting out him tomorrow. So just limit his shots, make everything hard for him because everything goes through him. So I think if you cut off the head of the snake, it's going to be hard for them to do a lot of things.
Like most one seeds, they never beat themselves, so you got to force them into making turnovers and messing up. So that's what our focus is going to have to be. We know they're going to run their offense sharp. They're going to be crisp, and we just got to get them out their rhythm, not let them run their stuff.
Yeah, I think if we contain the ball, I know their guard play is real tough. We've seen teams like that in the Big East. Like I said, every night in the Big East, you're going to see a different team. Guards play 4 guards out. But I think it's just our focus just to go in there and defend. I think if we make them uncomfortable, I think we get them out their offense. Like Kadeem said, slow down Graham because all the offense run through him. I think we'll be good.
Yeah, I think we got to stop. Everything the guys say is great, but we got to stop people in transition till they get a lot of threes in transition. If we play good transition defense, I think we're going to be able to give them a hard time tomorrow.
Okay, in the second row on the right side.
This is for Kadeem. To use a New York analogy, Kansas basketball out here is like the New York Yankees in New York. What kind of atmosphere do you expect in this arena tomorrow?
I expect it to be real loud. The fans going to be into it. Their team is going to be into it, but we're going to be into it also. So I expect a great atmosphere tomorrow. It's going to be a fun game.
Stay in the second row on the aisle. You had a question?
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Graham is obviously one of the best players in the country. He's a Naismith finalist. What kind of challenge is it for you? I mean, you obviously faced Jalen Brunson. You faced some of the best point guards in the country. What do you think it's going to be like facing him, and how excited are you about this challenge? You're going to obviously be prime time. Everyone's going to be watching.
I mean, I'm really excited. Like you said, he's a great guard, but I also faced great guards all year. We got Brunson in the Big East. We got the guards from Marquette, Cartwright from Providence. So, it's just another test for me and also for my guys. So I'm excited for the matchup.
Still have 5 minutes. We're going to stay on the right side and right there, and then we'll go to you in front, sir.
It's a question for Angel. David Walsh with ESPN International. We're going to be showing the game tomorrow night in República Dominicana. So I'd like to ask you if you could answer in Spanish, please. Un mensaje para el público dominicano de cara al partido de mañana. Un message for the Dominican people who are going to be watching tomorrow night, the importance of the game.
I got to respond to you in Spanish.
En español, por favor.
That's the first time they asked me that. Sí, creo que estoy muy emocionado por eso, tener la oportunidad de tener esa oportunidad de salir en ESPN Internacional, que fue uno de mis sueños, que así fue que yo me crié viendo ese tipo de canal así, porque nosotros no teníamos el de aquí. Pero estoy muy emocionante que representar a los latinos, representar a las personas que siempre me están apoyando en muchos países.
Yeah, can we first have Angel transcribe that for our transcribers in English?
You translate? Oh, I got to say it in English now?
Want to set the record straight.
Now I'm really excited to be part of ESPN International because that's what I grew up doing. I grew up watching too, and it's really excited to see my family be able to see me clear, and I'm just ready for the battle and representing every Latino out there.
Okay, you can follow up now. I apologize.
So you come from a country that's just crazy about baseball, but basketball is growing. Al Horford, for example. En español, ¿cómo está creciendo el baloncesto en tu país? ¿Y qué representas tú en ese crecimiento?
Está creciendo mucho. Estoy muy feliz por cómo el baloncesto en mi país está creciendo, porque nada más se hablaba de pelota, el béisbol. Pero ahora se está hablando mucho del baloncesto porque tenemos muchos jugadores en la NBA y eso son una cosa que nos da mucha oportunidad y un sueño por qué cumplir. Now in English?
¿Cómo se dice en inglés?
Sí. I'm really excited for how the basketball in my country is growing, because before we only talk about baseball every single day. Nobody talk about basketball. Now a lot of guys from the DR come in here and have the opportunity to to play in this type of level of basketball got really chance to make the NBA, and I'm really happy to see how the basketball is growing in my country.
Thank you. Okay, second row on the aisle here.
Guys, everyone back home is pretty excited about what you guys did the other night, but the question I'm getting from fans and people is, can they do it again? Can they knock off Kansas? Could you each tell me why you think you can win this game and move on to the Sweet 16?
Yeah, like I said before, I think if we stay focused, if we play our brand of basketball, you know, box out, get rebounds, run outs, and also kind of contain them, I think we can get the W.
And it's March. This is what March is all about, upsets, you know, great basketball and all that type of stuff. You know, we're a veteran team and we're facing another good team. You know, we're just going to come out here and compete and battle. And I feel like if we give it our all, we could come out there and beat them.
Yeah, just like it said, it's March. Anything can happen, but if you've been watching Seton Hall basketball all year, I feel like we got better as a team. We came closer. We practiced a lot. We pushed each other to get better. And as the year's been going on, we've been getting better as a team, winning games. I know I've been out for a few games, but, you know, I'm getting back in the rotation slowly, and I'm happy for that, and I'm ready to take on this challenge.
Yeah, it's two great teams playing basketball. It's not about who is better and who's not better. It's all about who will win in the last minute, who will win the game. So we just got to go and play hard, give it all, and leave everything on the floor, because at this time of year, we don't have nothing to lose. You lose, you go home.
Time for one more question. Go up front here. Our final question.
Angel, you mentioned you thought you match up well with Kansas. What specifically is it, do you think, that it makes it a good matchup for Seton Hall?
Yeah, they're physical. They're a physical team. I watch a lot of film, and they're a physical team, man. That's something that is really important. So that's how we play. That's how we like to play. So that's why I say it's going to be a great matchup.
Any other interview requests throughout the tournament? We have Thomas Chen, their basketball SID from Seton Hall here. Thank you very much, guys. And again, the Seton Hall locker room is still open. We'll have Coach Willard up here shortly. Yep. Thank you. What's that? Oh, thank you. That's for the blooper reel. Okay, we're ready to begin our session with Seton Hall coach Kevin Willard. Coach, let's get your assessment of the challenges that Kansas presents to your team.
Yes, there's a lot of challenges. They're extremely impressive. They're balanced. Devontae Graham is as good as any guard I've seen in college basketball. Reminds me a lot of what Jalen Brunson does for Villanova. You know, kind of can score the ball any time, runs the team extremely well. They're excellent in transition. And I think what I'm most impressed about is if you stop them in transition, how good they are in the half court executing an extremely tough style. So big challenge, but obviously excited to still be playing.
At this time, we'll take questions on the aisle here on the right side. There you go, sir.
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Kevin, you know, I guess the narrative is when these seniors came 4 years ago, they kind of helped you save your job at Seton Hall. You hadn't won yet, and there was talk of how long could you last. I asked Ish about that, and he said Coach saved his own job because he put them in a position to be successful. Just what your response to that?
I think players always save coaches' jobs, don't they? You have good players that win games, and you know, I think this group, I challenge this group as freshmen to become better as players, to become better as a team, and I think that's something that, you know, I've learned is you get the right type of kids who want to work, you can be successful. And these guys I've said it 8 million times, they've worked so hard. You know, success was going to happen just because of how hard they worked.
Got a follow-up there?
He always does. He always has a follow-up.
Do you feel like that 2014 class just kind of, how much do you think that getting those guys and what's happened here has changed things for you?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was a huge class. I mean, and I think the biggest thing was it was a great mix of, obviously Isaiah was extremely talented. Ish was our guy that was going to be our defensive guy. Angel was going to be the rebounder. I think that the biggest piece, though, was probably Kadeem, you know, because everybody talked about Kadeem, but everyone kind of said he was coming in a little bit over his head. And he wasn't good enough, and I think the way he developed his freshman year and really his sophomore year, he had such a huge year his sophomore year. The way he transformed into such a good player, I think he was a huge piece of what happened with that 2014 class. Should make his mom happy.
Coach, rebounding has not been one of KU's strengths, something you do very well, and when Kansas has been beaten, they've allowed a lot of offensive rebounds, something you do well. Can you talk about taking advantage of that matchup?
Yeah, I think that's something you got to balance with Kansas. Because they're so good in transition, it's something that one of our philosophies is the best transition defense is the offensive rebound, because if you can get second chance points, it stops teams from leaking out a little bit. It puts a little bit more pressure on them staying in and not getting out so quick. But you still, with Kansas, you really got to be careful of sending 3 guys to the glass just because of how good Newman gets out, how good Devontae is going. And again, I love, it's not that I don't know his name, but I love number 10. He's phenomenal. I just can't say his name. I have a player I can't say his name either. So I don't want him to think I'm not trying to. I don't know. I can't say Sandro's last name. So, but I think he is. You have Newman, you have number 10, and you have Devontae Graham out there. You got to be really careful getting back in transition because they can put up a lot of points quickly if you're sending too many guys to the glass. We're still going to go. It's just how we play.
Back to the aisle.
He never stops.
Kevin, Kadeem wears 0 for a reason. He says because people have always doubted him. How big of a motivational thing will this be for him Saturday, going up against one of the best players in the country? You know, he's played great players before, but he'll be the other guy there. You know, Eric Graham's a Naismith finalist. What do you expect out of Kadeem in that matchup, and how excited are you for him to get that kind of challenge?
Yeah, I think he's answered the bell really well. He's played well against Jalen. He's one of those kids, because of his personality, It doesn't seem like he gets pumped up for games. He doesn't seem like he gets. He's not our rah-rah type kid. He's Mr. Smooth, but deep down he understands the challenge. He'll be ready for the challenge, and I look forward to. I think it's going to be a great matchup between those two.
Okay, staying on the right side.
Coach, going up against like one of the blue bloods in college basketball tomorrow, how would you describe like the mood around the team? Is it excitement? Is it nervousness? How would you describe the mood around the team?
Well, right now they're not happy with me, so I would say they're a little grumpy. I would expect by tomorrow they'll be excited, just for the fact that we could be playing anybody. I think they're excited about still playing. You know, again, this is for the senior class. Every game could be their last game. So obviously playing against one of the great traditions in Kansas, one of the probably the all-time best college basketball coaches that will go down in Bill Self. I think that in itself is really exciting. I think playing in Wichita in Kansas gives a great challenge. I think the people here have been phenomenal in Wichita. I think the fans have been great. So I think you throw all the factors in. I think by the time they get over being mad at me, they're going to be really excited about playing Kansas.
Other questions for the coach?
He's going to ask another one. He's got my cell number. He can call me anytime he wants.
Why are they mad at you?
I woke him up a little bit early. We've already had a walkthrough. We've already had 2 film sessions. So they're a little grumpy at the fact that I usually have to feed them before I do something, and so if I do something before I feed them, then I get a grumpy older group. So I woke them up early. We had a walkthrough in the hotel. We watched film. We ate breakfast. We watched film and had another walkthrough, and now we're at practice. So hopefully, if I get them a good meal tonight, I'll get them back on my good side. It's always a balancing act, just like dealing with Zach. Even my guy here is like, he's asking another question?
He has a passion.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you have a question here? Yeah, Joe.
Hi. Sorry I'm late. Kevin, how important is Ish to this team, and how much do you think maybe other teams, does he fall in the cracks in other teams' game planning because of the other more well-known weapons that you have?
Yeah, I mean, it really didn't get talked about that much last night, how well he played. When I went back and watched the film, he obviously, everyone looked at his points. He hit a 3, he had some great putbacks, but he really did a great job in the second half of helping on pick and roll defense, switching out. He's one of those guys that in 5 or 6 years you're going to see probably playing in the NBA as a guy, because he's 6'8", he can defend every position. He's going to get better offensively. He's a hard worker. He's a terrific kid. He falls through the cracks because he doesn't do anything fancy. There's nothing flashy about his game. You know, he's one of those, I call him old school Charles Oakley type players. He's just one of those guys that just shows up every day, works really hard, plays as hard as anybody out there. You know, of all the guys, you know, I'm gonna miss all these guys, but next year, game planning without him, it's, you know, today I said, Ish, you're gonna guard him, Ish, you're gonna guard Devontae, you're gonna guard number 10. I said, you know, when you switch out on him, this is sweet. It's such a luxury to have a guy that can guard 4 positions. It's something that's, I think I've taken for granted at times, and I know that probably other teams just don't game plan for him because we don't run stuff for him. But defensively, he is a difference maker.
Sorry if this ground was covered, but Kevin, on a personal note, how have you grown as a coach in the 4 years that you've had these guys?
Oh, man. I think the biggest thing that, you know, I've probably mellowed out tremendously. I think I've come to realize when you have a group and you put a group together and you enjoy being around them and they work hard to kind of let them be them and not so much impose my will. I've kind of let these guys' personalities and their work ethic kind of form their own identity for this team. And instead of me trying to be, well, this is how we're going to be, I think the biggest difference, what I've learned is, no, I'm going to let them be them, and I need to adapt to how they want to be a little bit. They're still in my framework. They're still in what I want to do offensively and defensively, but from a standpoint of who we are and what we are, it's much more their personality than it is mine. I've kind of sat back and let them grow as men and grow as a team, because I think it's been very important to let them take ownership in this program. And I think that's something that I've really focused on, is letting them take ownership in the program and letting them kind of be the ones who are leading.
Zach Frazilla, New York Post. Kevin, the waking up early, getting all this film session done, is it kind of, you want to send a message to them, just how big of an opportunity this is they have in front of them? And, you know, Seton Hall hasn't made the Sweet 16 since 2000. You know, you have the #1 seed. It's a huge national game. I mean, what this win would mean?
No, I think the biggest thing is, because we're doing the same thing we did when we won the Big East championship and last year in the Big East tournament. I'm trying to get them back in that mode, because like I said, even though the Butler loss really hurt, it kind of helped us get healthy a little bit, and it kind of helped us get re-energized and refocused. So I'm trying to just get them back into that quick turnaround mode because preparation is really important for us. It's something I believe in tremendously, in putting in the work and scouting and being prepared. And when you're playing as good a basketball team as you are in Kansas, you need to do all the little extra things to try to give yourself a chance to win. You just can't treat it like you're playing any other team. They're just too good. They're too well coached. They have too good of players. So for me, it's getting them back in that mode that you're playing arguably the best team in the country, and that you got to put your work in, and you got to put a lot of work in to give yourself the best chance to win. I mean, I didn't think it was that early. We did 9 a.m. But for Angel, I mean, that might as well have been like 6:30. I mean, you know, the big fella needs his sleep.
Okay, left side, front row. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Brian Haney, Jayhawk Network. Can you speak to the unique challenge of prepping for Kansas while not knowing how much or how effective Udoka Azubuike will be able to play? And if he is able to be turned loose, what do you anticipate with him and Angel?
Yeah, it's amazing, you know, when he's not in there, how well they space you out, how much they drive, kick, rely on the three-point shot. And then when he comes in the game, you know, Bill goes to the high-low package. I mean, it's almost automatic. And he is, you know, obviously he's not moving great laterally, but he's moving pretty good up and down. But he's a monster of a man, and they do a great job of working their high-low package when he's in the game. So it's amazing. They play such a different style when he's in the game than when he's out of the game. So I think it's, you know, obviously we're preparing more for when he's out, because I don't know how much he's going to be able to play. But we're also getting ready for the fact that if he does play 10 to 15 minutes, that's a huge 10 to 15 minutes, because they can really go inside when he's in the game.
Okay, you got less than 5 minutes. Time for a couple more questions. Everybody okay? On the left side, sorry, didn't see you. Go ahead.
Coach, the Big East and the Big 12 both have reason to believe maybe the best conferences in college basketball this year.
I would agree with that.
Can you talk about the style, how much different it is, and then how much conference pride? I know the two conferences match up tonight, but you know, how much is that a part of this as well?
Yeah, the Big 12 has 10 teams, correct? Yeah. We have 10 teams. We each play a true round robin, and it makes for equal scheduling. So no one could say, hey, well, I got to play the 4 worst teams. I only played the 2 best teams, and which happens in the Big Ten. It happens in the ACC a lot. We played Texas Tech this year in the Garden, and I remember walking away saying, man, anybody that's got to play those guys twice, good luck to them. I think when you play an equal schedule and you have as good of coaches and good as players as you do in the Big 12 and the Big East, you really get a true effect of who you are and what you are, and you beat up on each other. And I think Texas Tech ended up 11-7 in the Big 12. If I'm not, I think I'm somewhere. And, you know, they had a shot to win the Big 12. And when you have a shot to win the Big 12 and you're 11-7, it just shows you when you have an equal schedule, how much you beat each other up. And as coaches in the Big East, we always say it, a 10-8 Big East team is really, really good because we've played against, we played 4 number 1 seeds already twice. I went to overtime with Nova. We lost in a dogfight at Nova, lost a tough one against Xavier at home, and lost a really tough one we've already played 4 number 1 seeds already. And all the Big 12 teams have done pretty much the same thing. Texas Tech is a 3 seed, Kansas obviously a 1 seed. I just think it's, you create a really good, tough basketball mindset when you play an equal schedule. And that's one thing I respect about the Big 12 when I watch their games and I watch their teams and their players, is that it's like blood rebounding. It's good old-fashioned hard-nosed basketball. And I respect the Big 12 because I think their coaches and their players play a good hard-nosed basketball, just like the Big East does.
Time for one more question out there. Okay, best of luck tomorrow, Coach. Thank you very
so much.
We're going to be starting our third team session shortly with Houston. Again, the satellite coordinates are Galaxy 17, transponder 17B. The downlink frequency 12035.5 horizontal. We have 20 minutes allotted for questions for student athletes for Houston, and we have Coach Calvin Sampson up afterwards. Okay, we're ready to start our session with student athletes from the Houston Cougars. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll have our microphone holders come to you. Please make sure to give your name and outlet. Thank you. Who's first? Okay, go on the aisle here.
Joseph Duarte, Houston Chronicle. Galen and Corey, just looking at what Rob did last night, how important, though, is it moving forward that, you know, most nights you guys haven't had just one guy or relied on one guy for most of the scoring? How important is it moving forward to get somebody else involved in the offense?
Definitely. It's definitely important. It's definitely key that, you know, we pick it up behind Rob, but we need Rob to continue being him. When he's about being aggressive, locked in, and not thinking about it, that's when he's at his best. And it's up to us to pick up our slack, you know, help him out a little bit, give a little bit of support.
We definitely need to help out more. We just can't really rely on Rob as much as we did last night, because Rob is capable of doing what he did last night all the time, but we have to help him, especially on the offensive end for sure.
Had a question in the back row? There you go, sure.
Matt Shepard, University of Michigan, IMG. Guys, congratulations on your success so far. What have you noticed about Michigan, especially defensively, that maybe might be different from you saw during the regular season or even in your conference tournament from teams?
Okay, we're going to start with Corey and work our way toward Rob.
They definitely know how to use their length. They're a very solid defensive team for sure. So we have to do well with executing our offense. I mean, we've seen a lot of great defenses this year for sure. So I mean, we're really not going to change anything but play our basketball. But they definitely have a solid defensive team.
Yeah, I agree with Corey. Michigan being from the Big Ten, we know they're a tough team, and they're going to come. We're going to get their best shot. So it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, and one thing I picked up is they have good spacing, and they don't make many mistakes, and they prey on other teams' mistakes. So they're a solid team, and that's why they're here.
Oh, are you referring to their defense or what we're going to have to do? Okay, yeah, their defense. You know, they play in a very good league, Big Ten. You know, they're playing against Michigan State and a lot of high-powered offenses. So for them to be on, I think, 10-game winning streak, you know, they're doing something right. So, you know, we got to come out tomorrow and breathe in fire, play hard as we can, and just be the more desperate team.
Over here on the right side yeah.
Rob, I'm sure Coach Sampson's really good about bringing you back down to earth real quickly. But last night, I think there was a stat out there that your point total was the most for a player in his first game of the NCAA tournament in 20 years. Can you wrap your head around what, you accomplished last night?
Man, honestly, I really haven't wrapped my head all the way around it yet. So many people are calling me and texting me. I'm just trying to stay focused, live in the moment, and enjoy it all, just looking forward to this next round, really. That's all it's about this time of year. It really just comes down to I'm a senior, Devin's a senior. We didn't want that to be our last game, and we definitely don't want this next game to be our last game. 40 minutes away from being in the Sweet 16 and playing in Los Angeles, it's just a dream come true to even have this opportunity.
Other questions out there? Go back? Yeah, sure.
Devin, you kind of hit on this earlier, but can you kind of elaborate from your time in the Big 10, what those teams are like, and kind of can you take anything from that to relay to your teammates about the style and maybe the physical part of it that you'll see on Saturday?
I feel like we practice like a Big Ten team. Knowing Coach Sampson, he played in the Big Ten, or he coached in the Big Ten as well. So I feel like we're very built to play against a Big Ten team. We just have to go out and play to our culture. But Michigan, yeah, my time in Indiana, it was always tough playing the Wolverines. So it'll be a good game.
Okay, on the left side of the aisle.
Rob, I talked to your mom after the game and just how proud she is of you, and she mentioned a text she sent you before the game, just kind of talking about how special you are and how she knows you can get this done. What does she mean to you, and especially getting to witness this?
Oh, man, this hasn't been the easiest path for me to get here, but there hasn't been one moment where she wasn't ready to go to war for me and help me out through anything that I needed. You know, true, genuine love, and just appreciate my mother so much. I think they drove about 18 hours to come out here and see this game, so I couldn't let us lose yesterday. It's only right that we get that win. And you know, I view everyone that wears this Houston and that represents our program, I view them all as family. So I appreciate everyone who came, and I especially appreciate my direct support system, my mother and my little brothers. I'm super excited that they got to come and witness this live, and they watch the games all the time. They're constantly glued to the TV and recording games and rewatching them. So for them to come out, experience March Madness, and just have that experience at such a young age, 5 and 10, you know, I know that's just something they'll never forget.
In the back on the aisle.
Why do you think you guys have been so successful this year?
I think it's a big factor that our defense and just our culture that Sampson installs in us every day. I mean, we work hard. We never really settle. We always humble ourselves no matter what the case may be. And I think our grit and our will to win is really something that really keyed throughout the entire season for sure.
Yeah, the last thing we want to rely on is our offense. Coach always tells us defense and rebounding is what's going to win us the game. That defense and rebound can always travel with us.
Personally, I feel like we're a very close-knit team, and we have a lot of winning players and a lot of winning kind of characteristics, and you know, that's really what got us here.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with all of them, and just mainly I think that we rely on our toughness. We don't try to be pretty. You know, we may not win a game in the most normal fashion that the spectators or viewers or the media might think that someone should get the job done, but we're just going to get the job done. You know, defensive rebounding team, a lot of junior college transfers, a lot of low major transfers. We just want to get the job done. We care about each other. We're a tight-knit group, and we definitely rely on our identity and our culture that we practice with every single day.
We had a question on the right side standing up, then we'll get to you on the left side, ma'am.
Yeah, you guys mentioned Michigan's defense and the challenges it presents. When they have the ball on the offensive side, what kind of challenges does playing a team like Michigan present you guys?
Start with Corey and work our way down.
We don't necessarily look at it as a challenge because we love playing defense. I mean, we pride ourselves on that. So it really just evolves in us just being who we are. We know they're a good offensive team, and we pride ourselves on defense, and so it's really going to be a good matchup for us.
I feel like we have to really guard the three-point line. They shoot the three well, 1 through 5. So we have to guard the ball 1 through 5.
Yeah, going off what they said, very good offensive team, good spacing, and they prey on the defense's mistakes. And they're good at what they do. They move the ball, unselfish team. So we just have to do a good job of sticking to the game plan and sticking to our principles.
Galen stole what I was going to say. We just have to stay solid. We can't allow dribble penetration because they're always going to make you pay with the extra pass. And they have shooters in the corners who are ready to go, just like us. So we know what we have to do, and they're also very well coached on how they slip ball screens and get an advantage on the defense. So we're preparing for that today, and we just have to execute our defense and communicate very well.
Go to the left side.
I'm Suzanne Tobias with the Wichita Eagle. Our city has not hosted an NCAA event in 24 years. I'm wondering if you guys have any reviews of the community or this venue, impressions of what you've experienced so far here.
Shout out Wichita State. I think that our athletic director reached out to their fan base and they responded. My family said they seen a lot of Wichita State fans in red yesterday and gold as well, and they were supportive because they're American Athletic Conference brothers. You know, we're really thankful for being sent to Wichita, and you know, I've never played in this gym, but I really like it already.
Galen?
To piggyback on what Rob said, people have been welcoming, friendly, and it was heartwarming to me because after, I think it was yesterday, I was watching the news, and I was watching the news, and they did interviews of Wichita State fans, and they were like, "Who you guys cheering for?" And they're like, "We're cheering on for Houston." And it just felt good to know that we're not alone.
Yeah, we really appreciate Wichita State for all the support and their fans coming and putting on that red. We really love that, and we hope they continue to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, the support's definitely been hard one. We've been getting reached out in person on social networks. A lot of Wichita State fans have been reaching out to us as well, so we really appreciate it.
Hey, also, I'd like to add, if there's ever a regional or anything hosted in Houston, we definitely would have to return the favor because they definitely provided a great spark plug, and the energy in the gym yesterday was great and amazing, and we just appreciate the open arms.
Go to the back row on the right side, guys.
Hey guys, who does Michigan play like who you faced, or maybe in your conference, and why?
Start with Corey.
Honestly, they're very similar to Wichita State in my eyes. I mean, they're a great offensive team. They run all their sets thoroughly. They're good at transition. I mean, they remind me a lot like Wichita for sure.
Yeah, I agree with Corey. Their offensive firepower is very similar to Wichita State's, and they can score the ball 1 through 5.
I would have to agree with both of them, but I also have to say a characteristic that they have of Cincinnati is their size and their physicality. So I say like a nice little mixture. They definitely have firepower in Wichita State. As we all know, they have a lot of firepower as well.
Yeah, the way they run their sets and the way they make the extra pass, and they're constantly looking for each other to make each other better off dribble penetration, definitely similar to Wichita State. The way that they play through their bigs is similar to Cincinnati, like Clark and Washington. I know they're looking to play through Wagner, or however you say his name. Not exactly sure on that, but yeah. But he's definitely a good player, and yeah, they're similar to Cincinnati since they play through their 4 and 5 so much.
Okay, we got the back row, then we'll come up front.
Hey guys, a lot of different teams have the different slogans on their shooting shirts. You guys have For the City, I think. Is that more than just a slogan for you guys? Kind of stands out more than most you see.
It's more than a slogan. It's a lifestyle. I remember I think it was my freshman year. I had posted on one of my pictures just trying to be inspirational, trying to be cool. And Lauren, she just took it and ran with it, and it's been our slogan ever since.
Anybody else want to add to that?
Yeah. Galen got the copyrights to For the City. He started that, and if anyone copies it, they're copying Galen because he started it. Maybe we weren't as popular or on the national attention as we are now, but everything's been For the City. He's been breaking the huddle with that, and we appreciate him for creating that catchy little slogan.
Okay, up front on the right.
Rob, it looks like it's been difficult for Wes Van Beck to not be part of this in terms of on the court, be a part. Why was it so important for you to do what you did last night and have him put that sticker on the bracket?
Well, Wes is the only guy who's been here for 4 years. I've been here this is my 3rd year, Devin's 2nd year, Galen's 3rd year, and we have a lot of first-year guys. But, Wes was here whenever Houston was 13 and 16 in the regular season. He's been here through it all. No one works harder than Wes. He's constantly in the gym. He has all the intangibles that you want in a leader. He leads in his own way without even talking, and we all have high respect for Wes, and we really appreciate him as a teammate. I don't know if anyone in the country can go from being a walk-on to scholarship to team captain unanimously. And we just appreciate him, and we know that if he was out there, he would give his all, and he would definitely hit some threes. He's so reliable, and we had to make him put the sticker on there. He was trying to tell me to do it. So we just appreciate Wes, and we always want to do anything we can to put a smile on his face, especially since his hands broke at such an inconvenient time.
I know, to piggyback on what Rob said, I know he give anything to be out there with us. I wish he could.
Yeah, Wes is our biggest culture player. He does it all, starting with he's in the gym every morning, every night, more than anybody I've ever seen in my life. So he's the reason why we have culture. He's our leader.
Yeah, Wes is definitely the type of teammate you would dream for. I mean, just being my first year here, I think I've learned the most from Wes just from watching him day in, day out in practice, how hard he works, how dedicated he is to his craft, and I appreciate Wes for everything he does for the team for sure.
Still have time for 2 more questions out there. Any other questions for our student athletes? If not, we'll let you guys get back to the locker room. The Houston locker is open for another 15 minutes. Thanks a lot, guys. Glad to have Houston coach Calvin Sampson at this time. Let's get your thoughts on preparing game prep for Michigan.
Michigan is a difficult prep because of how their five-man plays. Wagner. There's always somebody you're trying to compare somebody with. You know, who does he remind you of that you've played against? You know, we haven't played against anybody like him. Like most foreign players, they like to slip out of screens, and that's what makes it difficult. You know, I tell our kids there's real screens, there's fake screens. He sets a lot of fake screens, and he forces your big to run to the three-point line, and he's got such a good dribble game. You know, he's a difficult matchup. John's always been really good offensively. You know, they space the floor so well, and they recruit to their spacing. You know, Livers in one corner, really good shooter. Duncan Robinson in the other corner, really good shooter. Then he has the guys that are penetrators. Simpson, Rockman. Rockman can do both. He's an outstanding player. Matthews, Simmons. So, you know, they've just got it all covered. You know, if you beat Michigan State 3 times, you're pretty good. You know, I watched. I was excited when I got back to the hotel last night. Then I messed up and watched one of their games in the Big Ten tournament, and I went from being excited to, oh no. So
this time we're opening up for questions for Coach. Please raise your hand. We have a microphone holder. Come to you. Okay.
Where's Duarte at? I don't always count on him to ask a couple of questions.
You talked about the offense, but so much has been made of their defense this year. I just wonder what in what you've seen so far that really jumps out to you that's different than in the past.
You know, a lot of times when you play multiple defenses, that means you got to trick them. You know, I remember playing John's team when he was at West Virginia. You know, I think he was a 1-3-1 team. Out of timeouts, he'd go a little man-to-man. He'd mix defenses up. But I think that's when he had that big Pittsnoggle kid. So he had, you know, he had to hide some guys, I'm sure. But with this team, you know, Simpson kid's a big part of it because he can really contain penetration. Their length on the wings and athletic. I think that's the difference in this Michigan team and some of the teams I remember from the past is usually he had guys that were shooters. Now he's got athletes that can shoot. Rockman's a great example. You know, when you look at them down the line, where's their weakness? You know, the guys that can't shoot can drive. The guys that can't drive, they can shoot. But they all understand. They jump to the ball, they load to the ball. You know, as much as they try to space you, it's hard to space them because of their length. They're good. I mean, they're really good at both ends.
We have on the far back, last row right there on the right. There you go.
To go off your opening comment, what game were you watching from the Big Ten tournament that had you saying, oh no, and what in particular has you saying that?
Well, I watched parts of 3. One was Iowa, one was Purdue, one was Michigan State. They played 4 games in 4 days, right? So Iowa, Purdue, Michigan State. Who was the 4th one? Nebraska. Yeah, I watched the game flow was Michigan State because I'm more familiar with them. That was one. So I just wanted to see how they were guarding their ball screens up top. You know, they make it difficult. You just don't know what Wagner's going to do. You don't know if he's going to stop and set a screen or he's going to slip out of it. And when they do, there's 5 people behind the three-point line when he does that. And then they swing it, here comes the drive. And if you're late with your help, the ball's in the opposite corner, and you've got Livers or Poole or Duncan Robinson, one of those guys shooting threes. I mean, they're really, really well put together. You can tell their kids have a high basketball IQ, too. That's the key. You can be a shooter if you don't know how to play. You got to have somebody get you a shot. But when you're a shooter that you can get somebody else a shot, that's pretty special.
In the back.
Coach, what's made you successful, and what will be key for your success tomorrow night?
I think the thing that our kids have is, you know, we talk about two things you can control just about every day. And I hear, you can tell when the kids buy in, when you hear them repeat you, when they go into press conferences or just talking amongst each other. We talk about our attitude and our effort. You know, that's where it starts for us. You know, we're pretty good on offense. We're pretty good on defense, too. You know, we're not quite as pretty as some teams, obviously. I get that. But the one thing that this team learned as the season went along, and I think every team has this path they have to take. They go from hoping they can win to thinking they can win to knowing they can win. And it took this team a while to get there. We lost a game early in the season that I could care less about. While those around you are losing their heads inside, you better have a calmness about you and know the direction you want to go. And that's what we did from inside. But I could tell this team was going to be pretty good. You know, we took some hits early. But once we got past Christmas, you know what your team is. And by the time we hit Christmas, those kids thought that they knew they could win. We were hoping we could win in October and November, just hoping. Once we hit December, we beat Providence, we beat Arkansas. They said, hey, I think we can win these games. And then we got where we knew we could win. And I think that's, I'd rather have that trait than just about any other one.
Other questions out there for the coach? Any other questions? Well, thank you very much, Coach. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Our next session is not scheduled until 3:55. Again, Houston locker room is still open for another 10 minutes. Whoever sits here in the middle is going to have a problem with their legs. Is that okay? Yeah. Our final press conference session of the day is scheduled to start in a couple minutes. We'll have student athletes from Michigan. Scheduled student athletes are Mohammed Ali Abdul Rahman, Mo Wagner, and Duncan Robinson. Asking a question. You can ask. Satellite coordinates for this final news conference: Galaxy 17, transponder 17B, the downlink frequency 120.35.5 horizontal. Mohammed, you're right. Okay, before we start, just a reminder, if you can silence your cell phones and there's no live recording with your tablet or iPhone. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get to you, and then we're ready for questions for our student athletes. Guess I get to ask the first question. Okay, Mohammed, and we'll go this way. Why don't you tell us about the scouting report, your game prep, how's it going? I know it's a short turnaround getting ready for Houston.
Like you said, it's a short turnaround. We're just now seeing film on them. We know they're a great team. They won their first game, and we just have to prepare for them.
Mo?
Yeah, they're playing a very physical and talented conference, so it's going to be a great challenge and very talented team and on multiple positions, so it's not going to be easy.
Not much else to add, just kind of getting into watching them and learning more about them, and we're about to practice right now, so hopefully we'll pick up some more from the coaching staff.
Okay, we had a question in the front on the left side.
Yeah, last night you guys and Coach Beeline gave a lot of credit to the Montana defense. How much of it was the layoff? Did that guys affect you, or once you kind of started playing, did you get your feet under you?
We'll start with Mohammed and work our way down to Duncan.
I think they threw some new stuff at us, blitzing the ball screens and doubling a lot. We haven't seen that, and that gave us some trouble. I think you can add to it that we did have a long layoff, and we had some rust that we had to knock off, but that's about it.
I think some of it was definitely the lack of playing the last couple of days, just because you can't really match game intensity in practice. So definitely some rust off that game, but there are also some things that we could control and didn't execute well, so it's kind of a mix of both.
I think it was a combination of both. Give plenty of credit to them for what they did, but, like both these guys said, it's really hard to simulate game situations in practice. So hopefully we kind of got our feet under us now and we can move forward.
Other questions out there? On the right side.
Yeah, do you guys think the stopping the Montana guards last night is any indication or helping you practice for Rob Gray tomorrow?
Start with Mohammed, work our way.
They're both all great guards. They provide different dynamic. They play differently. But, I mean, it is good to play against little guards like that in the first game to get us ready to contain Rob Gray.
Yeah, there are definitely some similarities there in terms of how the guards look to attack, and obviously a good practice to going into Saturday.
Yeah, I think yesterday helped, but also just what we've learned throughout this entire year. I think we played some really good guards this year, and our guards have really stepped up and done a really good job. So, it's going to take a group effort, but we're excited for the challenge.
Other questions out there? Still have 10 minutes left in this session. Okay, we're going to go back to the same reporter.
Yeah, just more specifically on Rob Gray. I'm sure you guys have watched somewhat what he did yesterday. What makes him such a tough cover?
Start with Duncan this time and work our way to Mohammed.
He's really skilled, and he plays with really good pace, always under control, and he's playing with a lot of confidence right now. So combine all those things, and he's a tough matchup for anybody.
Mo?
I think he does a really good job between getting to the line. I think he shot like 15 free throws last night and having a great perimeter game, so that's really tough to guard. Yeah, it's a great challenge.
I think he has a great balance of inside and outside game. He has a lot of experience, and it's just going to be a tough matchup for us to cover.
You had a question on the left side?
Yeah, Charles is often so stoic on the court, and the three of you and Xavier Simpson have gotten so much press. You've been playing so well lately. How much fun was it for you to see Charles play so well last night when the rest of the team seemed to be struggling?
Duncan first.
It was great. The energy that he brought yesterday specifically was big for us. We were kind of lacking it, and he's more than capable of that, and he's done it many times this year. But it's a really good sign to start off this tournament to have him have a performance like that.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of this team, that as soon as somebody lets down or goes down somehow, somebody else steps up. And I think we're very confident in each other, and Charles proved that last night.
Mohammed?
It's great. It's great to see that, especially such a team player. He cares about winning more than anything. And to be able to see him make plays like that and have a good game, it was great.
Okay, we had a question. Gentleman standing up.
Jacob Albrock, KWCH-TV. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the tournament so far here in Wichita. First time at this arena and a long time in this city. How's it been for you guys so far?
Mohammed first.
It's been great. First time in Wichita. Great crowd, nice arena. Doesn't get much better than this, and the fans seem like they're basketball crazy, so it's great.
Yeah, obviously we haven't seen too much from the city yet, but I've been positive. Like, I was surprised in a positive way from the weather, and it's a cool environment, and NCAA is always fun. So yeah, it's a great experience.
Kind of going off with this, I'd never been in Wichita before, but pleasantly surprised by the weather, first and foremost. A lot warmer than Ann Arbor, so appreciative of that. And then also beautiful venue here, and just the hospitality in general has been great. A lot of friendly people, and a lot of people that really enjoy basketball, so it's a fun place to play.
Other questions out there for our student athletes? Well, if there's no other questions, I'll let you guys go back to the locker room. Thank you very much. Best of luck. Michigan locker room still open for 20 minutes. We'll have Coach Beeline up here shortly. is going to ask questions.
I think it's in the ask.
What?
I think it's some questions you can ask.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, we're ready to go with Coach John Beeline. And, Coach, I know that's the thing about the NCAA tournament, little turnaround in game prep, but your early assessment on your opponent tomorrow.
It's actually a lot of time because of when you come out of a Big Ten tournament where you played 4 games in 4 days. It's really great to have this situation where we can at least take a day and try to regroup a little bit. And we actually watched video of yesterday's game just to make improvements from some of the areas where I felt our game was flawed against Montana. So, but our team does have had time to watch Houston. A lot of respect for the program, a lot of respect for how well they're coached. Really solid defensive team, but can really score the ball. Got a lot of guys that can put the ball in the basket with some three-point shooters that would fit well in our system as well. I mean, incredible three-point shooters. So we got a work cut out for us, and we're thrilled to be advancing and see what we can do tomorrow night.
This time we're open up for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand, and we'll have a microphone holder on the left side of the aisle.
Coach, when Coach Sampson and the Houston players were up here earlier today, they spent more time talking about preparing for your defense than your offense. It's a far cry from the first team to 85 points, which seemed to be your mantra for years. How surprised are you, or are you surprised that you've become such a good defensive team and done so quickly?
Well, I think that I've said that this is an often asked question because we've always been a good defensive team. We've never been a great defensive team. I think we've evolved into becoming a great defensive team. Has a lot of factors in it, that we have good individual defenders. I've stepped away from trying to do everything and let our assistants really have a bigger voice in the game itself. My mind drifts to offense all the time. So while the head coach and the staff are all connected in what we choose to do, I'm really letting Luke Yaklich and last year Billy Donlin and just really talk defense the whole time. But there's been a lot of good changes that we've made, and that's the only reason I'm coaching now 43 years after I started, is because I've always embraced change.
Other questions out there? We're going on the right side.
Yeah, Coach, do you see any similarities between those Montana guards and then Rob Gray, and do you think that was good practice facing them yesterday?
Yeah, it was great practice. I think that these guards remind me more of Carson Edwards from Purdue, who I think I might have voted for first or second team All-American. They are tremendous guards. They have jump shots. They can get their own shot. They got a little bit more size and strength than we had in the Montana guards. So it's going to be difficult. We do have guys that can defend individually, but this is a whole new thing right now that we weren't able to guard Carson Edwards the first 2 times we played him. We were able to the third time. We have to do more like we did the third time tomorrow, or we won't be playing anymore.
Other questions out there? I do have a question, Coach, and the distinguished coaching career of both yourself and Coach Calvin Sampson. I'm sure you've had many encounters. What takeaways do you remember from those
Well, I think we've only played 2 times, and one I was the West Virginia coach, and we had a Sweet 16 team there that played really well against Oklahoma. And then it was like 2 years later when he came to Michigan, or when he came to Indiana, I was at Michigan. So we've had good games both times, and I think we might have split those. And we got another great matchup coming tomorrow. Really solid coach, solid coaching staff.
Other questions here? Still have windows of opportunity. Okay, we'll go back on the right side.
Yeah, Coach, just from the game yesterday, Rob Gray, what makes him such a tough cover for you guys?
Well, I watched a half of that game this morning, and then I've been just looking at clips because he can get his own. First of all, his experience. I think he's 24 years old, right? we'll have a, I think, if ever Xavier Simpson's on him, Xavier's 19. There's a big difference there. He might have just turned 20 actually. He just can get his own shot. He sees the floor well. He's got his ability to get into spots without and still get his shot off in close areas. A lot of guys can shoot their jump shot, but when they get in among the big fellas, can they still get their hands to the rim? He does that. So just really clever player. But he's not the player on that team. You know, he's not the only one. They got some really good players. Both of the Davis guys are tremendous. I mean, I haven't seen a guy with this jump shot. I don't recall facing a guy with over 100 threes in a while. And for him to be able to get that shot off when everybody knows that's what he does, that's tough to defend. Devin Davis, I remember from when he was at Indiana. I think he might even be related to Zach Irvin, one of our former players, really good player as well, and he's done a great job. And once again, a fifth-year guy there. So their average age is a little bit higher than ours, but and that shows sometimes in how what experienced team they have.
Any other final questions here for Coach? Okay, we'll go back to left side.
Coach, you touched on this a little bit, some of the outside shooting, some of the experience. What else do they do that presents a challenge for you, both offensively?
I think the offensive rebounding will be a thing. We've been really good. We're one of the leaders in the country in defensive rebounding percentage. I believe they're one of the leaders in offensive rebounding percentage. So same thing as Montana. They turn it over. They turn people over. We don't turn it over. When those two things clash, somebody's going to win it. And so getting them off the boards, you know, they're going to run a lot of pick and roll, jump shot. Well, while you're hedging the ball screen or doing whatever you choose to do, they're big guys rolling right down State Street trying to get the rebound. And now one of your guards has to pick him up. And that's a difficult thing for people. And especially make or miss, they can shoot it in, so you got to contest. If they don't shoot it in, they got a great chance at a rebound. So that's a big concern of mine.
Any other final questions? Looks like we're going to let you off the hook, Coach. Best of luck.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Michigan locker room is still open for another 15 minutes, folks. What do you say?
Bedtime.